Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nela Zara. So today I want to make a video. The topic is about methods of education, East versus West. A teacher from a Western country recently visited an elementary school in an Asian country. In one class, she watched 60 young children as they learned to draw a cat. The teacher drew a big circle on the blackboard, and 60 children copied it on their papers. The teacher drew a smaller circle on top of the first and then put two triangles on top of it. The children drew in the same way. The lesson continued until there were 61 identical cats in the classroom. Each student's cat looked exactly like the one on the board. The visiting teachers watched the lesson and was surprised. The teaching methods were very much different from the way of teaching in her own country. A children's art lesson in her own country produced a room full of unique pictures, each one completely different from the others. Why? What caused this difference in educational methods? In a classroom in any country, the instructor teach more than art or history or language. He or she also teach culture, the ideas and belief of that society. Its educational system is a mirror that reflects the culture of the society. In a society such as the United States or Canada, which has many national, religious, and cultural differences, people highly value individualism, the differences between people. Teachers place a lot of importance on the qualities that make each student special. The educational system in these countries show these values. Students do not memorize information. Instead, they work individually and find answers themselves. There is often discussion in the classroom. At an early age, students learn to form their own ideas and opinions. In most Asian societies, by contrast, the people have the same language, history, and culture. Perhaps for this reason, the educational system in much of the Orient reflects society, belief in group goals and purpose rather than individualism. Children in China, Japan, and Korea often work together and help each other on assignments. In the classroom, the teaching methods are often very formal. The teacher lectures and the student listen. There is not much discussion. Instead, the students recite rules or information that they have memorized. There are advantages and disadvantages to both of the system of education. For example, one advantage to the system in Japan is that students there learn much more math and science than American students learn by the end of high school. They also study more hours each day and more days each year than North Americans do. The system is difficult, but it prepares students for a society that values discipline and self-control. There is, however, a disadvantage. Memorization is an important learning method in Japanese schools. Many students say that after an exam, they forget much of the information that they have memorized. The advantage to the educational system in North America, on the other hand, is that students learn to think for themselves. The system prepares them The system prepares them for a society that values creative ideas. There is, however, a disadvantage. When students graduate from high school, they haven't memorized as many basic rules and facts as students in other countries have. The summary from the article about methods of education in West and East. The text examines the differences between teaching methods in Eastern and Western countries, using the example of an art lesson in an Asian classroom versus a typical Western classroom. In the Asian classroom, all students produce identical drawings by carefully following the teacher's instructions. Reflection, the emphasis of group goals and conformity in many Asian societies. Western classroom encourage individualism with students producing unique works of art. Western countries such as the United States and Canada value individualism. So, their educational system focus on students developing their own ideas and opinions. Asian societies tend to emphasize group harmony and shared cultural identity. So, their educational system emphasizes memorization, disciplines, and conformity. For the research based of AsianTigersGroup.com, the differences between Eastern and Western culture and education are significant. In Eastern cultures, there is more emphasis on hierarchy, conformity, and respect for authority figures such as teachers, with an emphasis on rote learning and memorization rather than creativity and critical thinking. Western schools encourage more individualism, participation, and questioning of the status. For the example, in Asians, focus on simplicity and capturing the essence of the subject with minimal brushstroke, emphasize on the emotional expression and feelings conveyed through artwork. For the Western, focus on realism, detail, and accurate representation of the subject. Emphasis on perspective, proportion, and the faithful depiction of the physical world. Okay guys, I think that's all. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.